Good evening and welcome. Our top story. The 24th of September will be a historic day for India. The verdict on the title deed for the Ayodhya dispute, in other words, the ownership of the disputed land in Ayodhya, will be announced by the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court. This is after a court today dismissed a petition which appealed for the verdict to be deferred.
The decks have been cleared for the verdict on who owns the Ayodhya land. The judgment on the 60-year-old legal battle may be out in just 7 days. The High Court today rejected the demand for delaying the verdict, and all the contestants, in a rare show of agreement, said yes to its rejection inside the court.
The question was that we are not ready for compromise. There is no question of any compromise.
The application did raise the anxiety around the Ayodhya verdict. It was rejected by the court. But the applicant's lawyer says that they still have the option of moving the Supreme Court. So can there be yet another hitch before the 24th of September?
The other twist today was that one of the oldest litigants in the dispute, the Nirmohi Akhada, had a sudden change of heart. The Akhada Council asked for the verdict to be delayed as there could still be a compromise. But this was rejected by all other litigants.
What has not been done in 60 years, it can be done in 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 6 days. If a compromise has to be achieved.
कोई compromise का chance नहीं है. आप judgment इसको जरूर करें, pronounce करें.
The hearing today became a full-dress rehearsal for the state administration for verdict day. There was a huge police deployment at the court. All over UP, especially in Ayodhya, the police were extra alert. The three-judge bench will get back to the serious business of writing the verdict in the protracted, bloodiest land disputes in the country. The verdict will test the democratic character of our political players. It will also test the faith we the people have in a plural, just democratic society. The courts have rejected a demand to delay the verdict in the Babri dispute. We the people need to reject a demand to divide. With Anand Zanani, Lucknow, Rahul Srivastava for NDTV.
The political parties have welcomed the court's order and have said that all parties should respect the verdict on the 24th of September.
देखिए, पार्टी ने आरंभ से ही अपनी ये राय सामने रखी है कि या तो इस समस्या का हल आपसी समझ से, आपसी बातचीत से, समन्वय से, सद्भावना से हो जाए, और ऐसा नहीं होता तो जैसी की परिस्थिति अब हमारे सामने है, तो न्यायालय इसका निर्णय करे और न्यायालय का जो भी निर्णय होगा वो हमें स्वीकार्य होगा. तो भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस अपनी उसी राय पर कायम है.
I think right now the point to be emphasized is that this issue should be looked at as something which will ultimately be settled through the judicial process. If there is any such situation where it requires, then not only the government, I think all the political parties in this country will have to consider what is to be done to see that peace is maintained, communal harmony is maintained. For that, we have to see finally, firstly, what the verdict is about.
Well, Rahul Srivastava, who's been tracking the story all day, joins us now. Rahul, thanks very much for being with us. 24th of September, one way or the other, is going to be a historic day for this country. In the lead up to that verdict on the 24th, how is this likely to be politically played out? Because the stakes over here are huge, not just for the people arguing the case in court, but also for various political formations in the country.
Vishnu, it's a 60-year-old legal battle, but it is only since 1984 when the VHP really stepped in and then the doors got opened in 1986 that it got politicized. Remember, Vishnu, this issue has brought huge political dividends to certain political players in this country. BJP can owe a lot of its success to the Ram Mandir movement, and that is why the BJP's political calculators are out. What we know very specifically, that within the BJP, a lot of churning is happening in the Sangh Parivar. There have been during the last 2 days meetings between the RSS and the VHP, how to react when the order comes out, how to react if the order goes one way or the other. In fact, what we also know is that in certain temples all over Uttar Pradesh, there have been small meetings and prayer meetings are being organized by the VHP. This will form the ground for certain awareness campaigns by the VHP once the order is out, whichever way it goes. So for the BJP and the Saffron Parivar, the stakes are very high. The crisis is the strident communal politics in India has been largely rejected by the people, and that is why the BJP is wary of jumping headlong into any agitation which the VHP might be leading. Then what other cries for the BJP is, what happens if the BJP stays away? If the BJP stays away, then it will be the hardliners and the supporters of the BJP will say that the BJP has abandoned the entire Ayodhya movement. And that is why there are too many complex issues involved in the Ayodhya verdict. Also, the BJP is wary, for example, what happens in Bihar if the BJP jumps headlong into any Ram Mandir associated movement. Also, several parties like the Congress are wary that what happens if the verdict goes against the Hindus or the Muslims. And that is why the need of the hour, perhaps most of the political parties, at least publicly, are saying that there is need to maintain calm, because any vitiated atmosphere can create tremendous trouble.
All right, Rahul, we'll leave it over there. The next few days are going to play out in a very interesting manner, perhaps politically. And 24th, the big day, one of the most important cases, the verdict will be announced for the title suit of the Ayodhya dispute, one of the most important cases in our history.